I'm gonna walk you through my 4 steps to determine your next craft show bestseller. Keep watching to know how to get started when prepping for your next market. Hey makers! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Camryn. I'm the owner of the crochet boutique called Camryn's Cute Creation. But here on YouTube, I love helping fellow makers like you start selling their crochet and make some serious money doing it, because we're already crocheting all the time anyways. We might as well be making money doing it. You know what I'm saying? And be sure to subscribe down below because I post a new video every single Friday. I've been selling at craft shows for over 3 years now, and I have learned so much about what sells and what doesn't, and honestly, some of this is probably gonna surprise you. So in this video, I'm gonna share all of my secrets with you, everything I've learned over years of doing this full time. Just a little disclaimer before we get started, just because something didn't sell well for me doesn't mean it's not gonna sell well for you. I really suggest looking into your target audience, determining who you're gonna sell to, and seeing what best fits for them. And if I say something and you're like, my target audience would totally not like that, you know your audience better than I do, so just use your best judgment, and I encourage you to play around and test different products with your audience. Number 1, products. What sells at craft shows? So when looking into a product of what to sell at your next craft show, ask yourself these 3 questions. 1, can someone wear the item? 2, can somebody use the item? And 3, can somebody gift this item? If your product doesn't fit into one of these 3 categories, you're gonna have a way harder time selling it. But bonus points if you could fit a product into 2 or all 3 of these categories. An example of a product that I sell that hits all 3 of these is a scrunchie, because you're obviously wearing the scrunchie, and then you can also use it every single day, and it also makes a great gift. And my scrunchies are actually one of my best-selling products. I have a whole free tutorial here on YouTube exactly how I make them, so if you want to check that one out, I highly recommend it. It's a great product to sell. Next, we're talking about price point at markets. What sells best? Are my $100 items selling best? Are my little $5 items selling best? Like, what the heck? What should I prep for? And I get this question asked all the time because you don't know what to prep because you've never done a market before and you don't really have a good idea of what actually sells. And I can tell you, over years of doing markets, the lower price stuff sells way better. But I have done markets before where my higher price stuff does better, but I will say for me, what I like to do is split my products up into different price point sections, and the ones that sell the best are definitely $5 to $20 items. So when you're looking to add a product into your inventory, I would definitely encourage you to add more of the $5 to $20 range items, because you're not only gonna sell that item more often, but you're probably gonna make more for your time on those smaller items as well. For me, on my scrunchies and keychains, by the way, I also have a tutorial on how I do my keychains, but for me, those projects take me not a lot of time, and I actually am making more an hour on those projects than I am a blanket. A blanket, I might just be making minimum wage. A blanket might only sell every 5 markets I do. But my scrunchies and keychains are selling like crazy, and I made my $150 back on those a long time before I sold my blanket. Next price range of products you can add to your shop, $20 to $40 items. Now, I will say my adult velvet beanies I sell for $45, and these do sell decently well. People, for some reason at markets, $40, you'll see a divide. Some people are totally fine paying more than $40 on a product, but most people, they stick below the $40 range. So once you get above $40 at a market for your price points, I suggest making less of those items. They're gonna sell less often, and your time is better spent making more of the smaller priced items. So what I would do is start by making a ton of my $5 to $20 items. Then I would move on to making a variety of $20 to $40 items. And if I had time to prep even more, a couple of fun over $50 items, like maybe a big blanket or a really pretty decorative pillow. And I'm not really expecting to sell it, but I will say it does help draw customers in. You don't need it, and I would suggest not starting with those items, but if you had extra time at the end of building your inventory and you want to show off your skill, you have a really fun pattern you want to try out, go for it, but don't expect to sell those as often as your smaller price items. 3 is colors. And I get this question all the time over on Instagram. By the way, if we're not friends on Instagram yet, I hang out over there pretty much all day, every day. So let's be friends over on Instagram. But I get this question all the time over there. Should I have a color palette or a theme of colors that I always use for every single market? Now, I totally recommend this, but at the same time, this one really depends on your target audience. If your target audience is a younger teenager who's really into lots of bright colors, neon colors, loves all sorts of color, your best bet is to do as many color options as possible. But for me, my ideal customer is a young, modern mom, and she likes a lot more neutrals and a lot more soft tones, and that's where I focus on my brand. But with that being said, in general, when offering your colors, there's two general extremes that can start to happen, and that is offering way too many colors, and in that case, you're going to not only completely overwhelm your customer at this event, and they're actually gonna have a way less chance of buying something because they're gonna have a harder time making a decision. But while prepping, you're gonna be so overwhelmed. There's gonna be too much going on. You're gonna have too many colors to keep track of, and I just don't suggest adding more than 6 colors unless, again, your target audience really likes a ton of color. Now, on the other hand, you could offer way too little color options and totally bore your customer. They can walk up and be like, okay, you have black and gray. I don't want any of these. And also, you're gonna get so bored working with the same 2 colors over and over and over again. Maybe cream colors sell really well for you. Maybe that is your best seller, but in order to have a cohesive look to your brand and to appeal to more customers, you wanna have a little variety of colors. So I suggest not going under 4 color options per product. But again, this is all dependent on your brand. You know your ideal customer best. So if your customer is super into neutrals, they will not buy color, they only wear black, white, or gray, then hey, maybe that's what you should stick to in your business. But in general, I would stick to, with colors, 4 to 6 color options per product line. So lastly, we're talking about sizes / variants. So I know a lot of you offer apparel, but I know a lot of you also offer amigurumi as well, and you're not going to be offering a ton of different sizes as far as adult, child, you know, all those things, but you're going to have different variants of that product, and sometimes that is sizes for amigurumi. Maybe you want to offer a mini version of a little ladybug, a medium ladybug, and then a huge ladybug. I actually don't think I've ever seen a crochet ladybug. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. I bet it's been done. I'll have to look that up after this. So I'm gonna start with talking about sizes, but just know if you do amigurumi or you do something that doesn't have sizes, this also applies to you as well. Just think of it more in terms of variants you want to offer. If you're selling adult sizes, please be inclusive to all adult sizes. Don't just pick and choose. You may have an item that sells the most. For me, when I was doing crop tops, I was selling a ton of medium sizes, but you still wanna have enough available to include everybody who would want to purchase from you. And it's totally okay if you sell out of one of those, but be sure to let them know, give them a business card that you do offer their size and that they can contact you to get a custom order, or they can contact you when you fulfill your inventory again. Now, as far as sizes for all ages, I get this question all the time too. Should I sell baby stuff or should I sell adult stuff? Now, this also depends on your target audience, and I really highly suggest starting with one or the other. You're gonna completely overwhelm yourself with all of the different sizes, so pick one, stick with it, and then you can expand with the more feedback you're getting from each event you do. For me, I would suggest either starting newborn or adults, because those are the 2 that sell the best for me. But I will say every size in between sells really well for me too. Now, the key with sizing is to offer the most variety you possibly can without giving them too many choices. A good example of this is my velvet beanie pattern. The way I wrote the pattern and the way the pattern fits, the pattern actually goes from 0 to 3 months, then 3 to 12 months, then 1 to 4 years, then 4 years plus, then it goes to adult sizes. So instead of newborn, 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 12, and moving on and on with more specific sizes, I was actually able to make a product that can cuff and stretch at different sizes where it can apply to more people. This also helps not overwhelm your customers, plus not overwhelm you while prepping. Now, I have a bonus pro tip for you when determining what products you want to start selling at your markets. And that bonus tip is your products that you offer should mostly take you under 2 hours to make, preferably under an hour to make. And you might be like, what? I'm not that fast, but honestly, if you're using chunkier yarn or a chunkier hook or quicker stitches and patterns to whip up, you can make a lot of products for under 1 hour. And this is the stuff you're gonna not only sell more, but you're gonna make more for your time on them as well. Most of the products I offer take me less than 2 hours. Of course, once in a while, I'll offer a blanket or something like I mentioned before, and it'll take me maybe 6 hours to make, but I put a way higher price point on it, and it doesn't sell as often. That's an exception to this main rule. For the most part, when you're prepping for a show, in order to get more done quicker, you want to make sure your patterns are quick and easy to follow. Now, I have a little homework for you. I know, homework. You're like, what the heck? I was just hanging out with you on YouTube and now you're giving me homework. I want you to write down 3 patterns that you want to try out that are quick and easy. Now, if you're feeling stuck, don't worry, I have a whole playlist on patterns you can try out that are free that I offer here on YouTube, and they're all quick and super easy. So if you want to just write those down and go check those out next, go do that. Or you can go to Pinterest, look up quick and easy patterns, and I want you to start stockpiling those patterns, setting them aside for building an inventory. So in general, when prepping, make sure the item is something they can use, wear, or gift. Make sure that you're using a limited color palette, but not too limited, and offering plenty of neutrals before adding a ton of different colors. That's another thing I kind of forgot to mention earlier, but neutrals tend to sell best. In general, with this product, if you can whip it up under 2 hours and charge a $5 to $20 price range on it, you're in a sweet spot. You are gonna sell the heck out of that product, and I'm so excited for you to try this system out. Also, now that we know what to make, it's time to make a ton of them. And I want to invite you to my market prep challenge. It's 100% free. You can sign up in the description box down below. In this challenge, we're gonna go over exactly how to build an inventory. I also have tons of additional tips and tricks in there, and if you like this video, I know you're gonna love this challenge. That's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I always love hanging out with you here on YouTube, and if you want to keep hanging out, I suggest this video next. I think you're really gonna like it. So I will see you, my friend, in this video right here. Bye.